Doki doki ooh woo, all my heart's for you, my wonderful fiance, Seamus.
Can you hear me? Is the mic working? That's the most important part. It's working. Okay, perfect. Hi friends, Esiclus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs, and Carrie, thank you so much for the resubscription. You guys are amazing. Did I miss something in there? Did I miss anything? I hope I did not miss anything. It's the Cookie Queen, Mommy. Sorry, Mommy. Ooh woo, ooh woo indeed. We're back. It's been a long week. It's been a long week of not streaming and blowing every ounce of liquid out of my body through my nose. I don't know where the cold came from, but it was obnoxious. However, it's the first cold I have had through the entirety of cold and flu season, and it was not nearly as bad as in the last couple of years, so I'll take it. But it still sucked. Giant emote! Giant emote! Seamus, by the way, congrats on being the official first. Carrie was the official second, and Esiclus was the official third. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, L&D, one of my fellow EBGG teammates, and hopefully that went off. Seamus, thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate you. Yes. If you're not following L&D, definitely do. If you're not following Esiclus, definitely do. Both wonderful, amazing people that I am lucky to have among the people I can call friends. I need to just scooch this ever so slightly so that I can see my screen a little better. You got Mel by Moonlight in there, let's go! Ugh, bitch. One of those annoying ones. We are here today because it's Pie Day, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, my sleep is super fucked right now, and I almost debated pushing this to tomorrow, and I was like, no, god damn it, I am baking pie on Pie Day. It's my favorite non-holiday holiday. I love Pie Day. I'm a math nerd. I may not look like a math nerd, but I'm a math nerd. I think numbers are fun, just not in algebra. Like, fuck algebra. I like statistics and I like geometry, and pi is geometry. It's my wheelhouse, literally, because it's pie. And if you get the joke, you get the joke. It is a great one, right? Right? So I was originally gonna bake 2 pies. I was gonna do both banana cream and lemon meringue, but it then occurred to me that I can give away a lot of snacks. It's very easy for me to transport slices of cake or cookies or cupcakes places. Pie is not as easy to transport to give away, which means whatever pie I bake usually has to be eaten in this apartment, and Seamus and I do not need to eat 2 pies. We're both on a weight loss journey. We do not need 2 pies of delicious sugariness in this apartment. So I said, you bought both of the materials because I asked you to. The one that we're not going to just sit and snack on are the lemons, not the bananas. The bananas we'll snack on, so I opted for the lemon meringue pie instead of the banana cream pie, with promises to Seamus that I'll make the banana cream pie another time. I don't know, did Garfield weaponize the lemon meringue pie? I'm not sure. Snap points and arc for a circular building. Good luck, Carrie. Good luck. Garfield does weaponize everything. That cat loved lasagna. And I understand, because lasagna is delicious. Because pasta is delicious. And bad for me, but delicious. So, lemon meringue pie wise, I have not posted the recipe in the Discord yet. I will post it. It's one of the recipes that is in the book that I wrote. Oop, there's a stray hair in this book, probably from me, that I wrote after my mom passed away this way. So I can show you here. This is the recipe. It'll be in the VOD, so if people want to watch the VOD, go back to the VOD, pause the VOD, like, it'll be there. that is the recipe for the lemon meringue pie. The banana cream pie, if you're curious, already in my Discord, there is a recipe for chocolate cream pie. If you withhold the chocolate from the chocolate cream pie, you make a vanilla custard. To make the banana cream pie, you literally take a pie crust, chop the bananas into the bottom of the pie crust so it completely covers the bottom. Don't mash them or anything, just cut slices, pile them in there, and then pour the custard over the top and let it solidify. It's that simple. That's how I make my banana cream pie. You get this like lovely layer of banana with this lovely layer of vanilla on the flaky pie crust. It is delicious and it's not overwhelming. Better yet, it doesn't rely on potentially like fake, what we call fake banana flavor, but original banana flavor to give it its essence. It's just vanilla and fruit and it's great. The lemon meringue pie is gonna be a little more involved. It's a reoccurring theme in Garfield. I don't know. I was young when I was reading Garfield and I don't remember a lot of it aside from his love for lasagna, which I think is what he's most known for aside from sleeping in his box. All right, so we have to, of course, start with the pie crust. The lemon meringue pie is not a baked pie. It is a cooked custard, but it is not a baked pie, which means we do have to blind bake the pie crust in order to do this safely. You guys, thank you so much for the hype train. I appreciate it. You made it to level 4, 2%. That is fucking phenomenal. You guys are legends. I can't say it enough. I can't do this without you, and I really appreciate you guys. So, pie crust wise, the pie crust recipe in this book makes 2 crusts, so I'm going to cut it in half because I only need 1 crust. Only 1. And I need to turn this ever so slightly. Choo-choo! Look at the cute emote. So we're gonna need 1.5 cups of flour, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, which I'm going to cut back on because I'm using salted butter. I don't want my crust to be super salty. This recipe originally called for Crisco, and I'm literally doing a 1-to-1 swap. So, cutting back on the salt, I will probably only use between 1/4 and 1/2 of a teaspoon instead of 3/4. It will need 1/2 cup plus 1 tablespoon of the butter and 3 tablespoons of cold water. So we're gonna start. It wants you to sift the flour and the salt together in a bowl. Easy squeezy. I will, of course, be doing this in my handy dandy KitchenAid, because I ain't got time to hand mix this. I don't have the patience when I have the tools. Just how it is. All right, set the butter over there for a minute. Slide my flour over. 1.5 cups. Oop. I will also tell you guys, I tried to nap and I couldn't. So I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep, which is always fun. I started back up on reading the Throne of Glass series. I had taken a little break after the second book because the next step in the series, according to the author, was to read what a lot of people see as like the first book called Assassin's Blade, and it's kind of a prequel to everything. Perfect. It's at 1.5, but I wanted to read it where she said to put it, which was 3rd. And that one wasn't gripping me as much. I will not lie, Assassin's Blade, not as good as the rest of the series, but it definitely provides some like really important background knowledge. All right, 1.5 cups in. Well, I finished Assassin's Blade, and then I was like, sweet, I can move on to Heir of Fire. I have feelings. I have very strong feelings about this book. So when I couldn't sleep anymore last night at 4 o'clock in the morning, I picked it back up. And I finished it this morning right before I had to go to work. And I had to pick the next one back up because the book following it, Queen of Shadows, literally just picks up right where Heir of Fire leaves off. And you know that point in a book where the plot is like really thickening and picking up pace and you can tell you're rushing to like the climactic end and you just can't stop. You've hit the point of no return. Okay, you hit that point in the middle of like Heir of Fire and it's still going. I have made it to almost the middle of Queen of Shadows and it's still going. I have feelings. I am addicted. Quite a bit of lemon meringue pie in Garfield, I believe you. So yeah, I'm very addicted right now to the Glass Throne of Glass series. Can't stop, won't stop. Oop. There's a quarter and a little more. Roughly half of what it wanted for salt. And no shame. I used to love reading as a kid, like adored it. Devoured books, skipped school to devour books. And now as an adult, I had lost my desire to read. Uh-oh, Seamus is trying to commit crimes. I had lost my desire to read and I got into like webcomics and manga, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But now that I've gotten back into books again, the same familiar love has come crashing back around me and it is all dangerous. All right, so 3 tablespoons is 45 milliliters. That's 30. That's 60, so we'll do the 3 tablespoons. I don't have a 45 mil. Cold water. When I finish the Throne of Glass series, I am debating, there's one, on whether I start the Mist series or if I continue with Sarah J. Maas and I move on to A Court of Thorns and Roses. There's 2. I haven't decided yet. What's funny is I got these books for Christmas and Yule, and I thought they would last me quite a while, foolishly, because I hadn't been reading as much. I thought they would last me into the summer when we're gonna go camping and I was gonna have stuff to read at camp. And now I'm beginning to think that I'm gonna have to buy fresh books for camp. Because the old habits are coming back swift. For work that you sort of forget that reading can be fun. That's fair, Everett, that's fair. I totally understand that. That is kind of in the same vein of why I have never ever considered a career as any sort of baking profession because I don't want to dislike it in my free time. All right, 1/2 cup and a tablespoon of butter. So 1 whole stick is 1/2 cup. So I need 1 stick plus 1 tablespoon, and of course, both of the wrappers are on here like shit. So you can see at the end how the measurement marking wraps around. So you just kind of got to estimate. Not a big deal. Yep, that works. So yeah, I'm back on my reading kick. back on my reading binge. I'm excited and scared for my habits. Because I know myself. I know there are gonna be like things that Seamus and I promised to do, and I'm gonna be like, but I just wanna read one more chapter. Instead of, you know, like going to visit my dad or something. The worst part of it is though, if I were to call my dad and be like, listen, I know I was supposed to come over to do whatever today, so long as it's not something important, like I was coming to take him to like a medical appointment or whatever, which I would never flake on him for, but he would totally understand if like we were supposed to go out to lunch at 1 and I was like, listen, I'll meet you at 3. I need to finish this book. He would be like, all right, because he's also an avid reader and he gets it. And that's dangerous. Chunk this in little by little. This is at room temp. You can squeeze it without it melting, by the way. I took it out while I was setting things up earlier so that it had time to just start warming up. Sometimes people will tell you that you need to keep the butter cold so the dough is not too sticky. I like it at room temp because I like the dough to be a little more supple. You don't want it melty because then, yeah, it will be sticky, but I need it a little more supple. In we go. Get the butter in there. And once it's combined a little bit, I can turn this up so that it can really like whisk together. But until that time, we don't want the flour everywhere. And I have proven on at least one occasion, if not 2, that impatience breeds flour in the face. There we go. Salt. Salty salt. And that should do it. I need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me start that. And I need to turn on, come on. There we go. Water to boil for the double boiler. We will be making the slide over to the stove eventually. Oh, did Smeagol run through? Did you see the Schmoodova? Get back in there. I did not permit you to jump out of there. Shmoo is being a little bit funky lately. So, you've seen me feed him on like a green mat, his wet food in the evening. We're planning to get 2 more cats. I've mentioned this before. We're actually going to go and try to corner the people at the adoption agency tomorrow about the home visit that we need for the one that's a wobbly cat. That's our first choice. Because they haven't properly contacted us about setting that up. And it's been a month. And somebody else has had a home visit, so it's not just us in the lurch here. And if we can't, if it's proving to be too much, we will go to our second choice, which do not require a home visit. But regardless of that, the big thing here is there's going to be more cats. And feeding 3 cats on 1 licking mat is just not going to work, and we're not getting multiple licking mats. Like, it would be too much to find all the space to stick them to the floor. So we bought some plastic standing bowls. They were supposed to be silicone, but they're not. They're plastic. Listings lie. That's just how it is. And I mean, technically, I guess silicone is a plastic. Oh, Seamus wants you to cook a meal. There you go. I see. But we bought these bowls, and so instead of using the mat, I've been using this bowl, and Smeagol's like just not eating his wet food, and I don't know if he just doesn't like the bowl, or if, like Seamus says, he just wants the act of me feeding him. He doesn't necessarily want to eat the food. Like, he just likes getting a treat. It could be a combination of both. They're supposed to be good bowls for cats because they're lifted on a little bit of a pedestal, and the rim is dipped to give them whisker relief. But I don't know. I'm not a cat. I'm only guessing. My thought, though, is if it really is that he's just, like, he's not liking the change to this bowl, the minute we have other cats here, if he hasn't adjusted already, when they start eating out of this bowl, because we've got multiple so they can each have their own, he will instantly get that, like, food motivation back, and he will eat his own share. It looks like you all got the same emote from the hype train. That's my theory anyways. Okay. So now we get to roll this out. Which to do, I need some wax paper. Ugh. Whoop. Not me smacking everything here. It is cute. It's very cute. I apparently have already collected all of them. There we go. So this will give us a barrier for the pie to make the crust without having to use pastry cloth and flour. I am, however, going to take a moment to move some of this stuff to a slightly different location so that I have more room to roll stuff out. Because let me tell you what, there's not a lot of room in this apartment to bake or cook. It's very small in this kitchen. Very, very small. It's one of the #1 things I'm looking forward to when we finally do find the ability to move into like a proper house, is a bigger kitchen. We are still talking about buying my childhood home from my dad, which would suit me just fine. I love that property. And it's a nice big kitchen. We would have plenty of space to do everything. Specifically because I grew up in a small kitchen, not unlike this one, and my mother was an avid baker, and when she decided it was time to put an addition on the house, because 3 kids with a single bathroom and technically only 3 bedrooms and a lofty area that wasn't private, was just not cutting it. It was a really good starter home, but it needed more space. So they added it on, and one of the things that she did upon adding on the space was make the kitchen much larger. And it was her favorite aspect of the house right up to the day she passed. She would tell, because my uncle, her brother, helped put the addition on, him and a friend of his who's a close enough friend of the family that we also called him Uncle. And she told him every time she saw him, both of them, I love my kitchen. She told them that, gosh, I was 15, I think, when we put the addition on. She passed when I was 29. So for 14 years, every time she saw them, I love my kitchen. So I would love to be back in that kitchen. I pulled out my pie weights, by the way. That's what you saw me grabbing. Pie plate. I think it's 8.5 inches, maybe 9. I don't know. They don't label them, which annoys me. I wish there was a stamp on the bottom of the damn thing that told you the size of the frickin' pie plate. Don't have to save this because I'm not making another crust. I was about to feel like that was famous last words, and I was going to be very upset with myself. Ding. The boiler pan that sits in the bottom of the oven in the boiler pan tray area did its popping. I think everybody who uses an oven can relate to that sound. Now I'm just going to ease the pastry to the edges. I'm going to clean it up a little, and then I'm going to use this to fill in any necessary gaps. Yeah, I originally wanted to be live 3.5 hours earlier than I ended up going live. And I originally wanted to be live long before that. But last week when I had to cancel this client because I was sick, I wasn't paying attention when I went to reschedule her because I had not. Like, Pi Day isn't one of those holidays that shows up in your calendar, right? And so I went to reschedule her, and I saw that I had that Friday, that like a week from her appointment that I was rescheduling, open, and I was like, hey, I have that Friday. And she accepted, and I went back to sleep because I wasn't thinking. And then only when I went to plan out my schedule did I realize my mistake of having scheduled her on Pi Day when I wanted to go live at 2 p.m. and her appointment was at 3:30. So I was like, well, I can't reschedule her to bake a pie on stream. Like, that's just, it's not good business practice for your IRL, like, in-person business. So I took the L for my ability to schedule things, And here we are in the evening. But I'm sure there was a reason for it that I just don't know, because the universe is weird and it's fine. It's not like I could control being sick, because I had originally blocked out that time so that nobody could book there online. And then I went and screwed it up myself. How appropriate. This is definitely gonna shrink in some, potentially. I'm gonna put the pie weights in it and we're gonna try to keep it from doing that. My fluting, it's not great. I'm not saving the extra dough. My best friend would be angry with me because she would want to eat it, but I'm not saving it. I think my water is boiling for the double boiler. It is, so I'm going to turn it down to low. And I need parchment. Because you cannot put wax paper in the oven. Okay? I don't know who needs to hear that, but do not put your wax paper in the oven. It has wax on it. It will melt. Will melt big time. And then you'll be upsetty spaghetti at the melted wax in your beautiful pie crust.
What the hell?
What the hell, Bubbly? Mrs. Bubbly, welcome in. How are you? How was the wedding? I have to do it this way. I'm making folds so that it's easier. Was it devilishly good? So it's easier to get it to conform into the pie. Okay. We do that. Take all the pie weights and dump them in, because I don't have a second pie that I need to do this with, so it can have all of them. And this should, in theory, help it from bubbling and from shrinking. Six p.m. because your stomach said no, you just got your last name changed. Let's go! That's so exciting, getting your last name changed legally. That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you. Was it as beautiful as you wanted it to be? I hope so. Okay. This goes in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Don't want to eat raw pie dough for a crust. Wake up, phone. Wake up, I need to set a timer. Okay. Quaint and elegant, surrounded by friends and loved ones. That's perfect. That is perfect. Lemon meringue pie. On to the lemon meringue part. Or at least the lemon part. I probably won't actually be able to make the meringue tonight, and that's okay. Because the pie is gonna have to cool off. It is what it is. Bring this stuff back over. I'm still debating on if I'm gonna use one or both of those lemons. So, step number one. In a double boiler. So this is the top of a double boiler. We're gonna mix flour, cornstarch, and sugar. We need a 1/4 cup of flour. That's 1/3. That's 1/4. In we go. 1/4 cup of flour. Two tablespoons of cornstarch, which means I have to dry off my tablespoon. %. Ooh, concussions are no fun. I'm glad that it's mild and you're not like seriously injured, but concussions are no fun. I said two tablespoons. 1. 2. And how much sugar? 3/4 cup. I bet it has been a wild few days. It sounds like it's been wild. But I hope that the concussion came after the wedding, not before. Yes, after the wedding, that's good. Or during. Yeah, during would be really bad. Not the worst thing I've heard happening at a wedding, but up there. And then mix it together. Basically, we're making it so that hopefully when we put in the liquids, the cornstarch doesn't just clump. I'm gonna need boiling water for this specifically in the recipe as well as on the stove. So start that. Standing up too fast. Ooh, ooh, Seamus can relate. Seamus can relate to that feeling. Yeah, and now's when I'm gonna need to do the boiling water, but in the meantime, while that boils, we're going to get the other ingredients ready because we're about to have to go over to the stove. So we need the grated zest of 1 lemon plus its juice. That's one of the first steps. I probably actually only need one of these. Give it a rinse real fast because we're using the zest. Take off some of the, this'll make them more apt to buy it, wax stuff. Wasn't a Darwin Award, yeah. You would think otherwise. Well, see, Bubbly, Seamus, when he was in the Navy, in a call to alert, I think it was, tried to jump through one of the doorways, but they're short and he's tall and they're sharp, and he clocked himself and knocked himself out cold and woke up in sickbay. And I think it's hilarious because it's after the fact. The juicer. I'm gonna be grabbing the juicer. I was trying to think of why I had that still open. So he can definitely relate to smacking your head off of moving vehicle ballasts. Middle name is Derp, yeah. Your wet food is in your bowl, Smeagol. You do not have to cry at me. Although I think he's crying because he was really enjoying me reading for hours and hours. Because during that entire time, he didn't cry once. He just curled up next to my legs and went to sleep. Which is all the more reason why I feel like getting him more feline companions wouldn't hurt. I think he was lonely. I don't know though, so I'm hoping we're not making the wrong decision. Okay. That gets the zest. Now we need to juice it. Knocked you colder than a cucumber, yeah. Top edge right in the forehead. On sharp cap, yeah, the soft spot. That hurts. That hurts a lot. We're about to find out if we have any cuticles that have been ripped open or anything on our fingers. Come here, you freaking seed. There. Ooh, no worries, Dova. You put that stuff away. Putter around. Oop. I saw those seeds slip in there. I actually have to put my fingers in here to find them. There they are. Oop. Get back here. There's one. Oop, I feel it. It's getting away. Oh, doggone it. The seeds are the worst part. nope, come back here. Nope, 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 come back here. I needed the zest to fall off my fingers, not the seed. Any more? Yes. There we go. No open wounds. Nothing's burning. Oh, that sucks. Night shift is rough. Night shift is definitely rough. Okay. Knock the seeds into there. What else are we gonna need? Because like I said, we're gonna be sliding over there to do everything else in there. 2 egg yolks. Ooh, I need another dish. I only grabbed 2, I actually need 3. We don't need the whites, just the yolks carefully, because we're saving the whites for the meringue part. If you get any yolk in it at all, it won't work. It's okay to get whites in the custard. It is not okay to get yolk in the meringue. If you get yolk in the meringue, it will not fluff up, it will not rise, it will not do what you want it to do. Yes, I have the filter set so that I don't blow people's eardrums. Come on, egg. Thank you. The shell did not want to crack. There we go. Okay, egg whites to be saved. So I will grab out a little lid. These are like little 1-cup glass dishes, by the way, from Pampered Chef. That's what I use as my transfer dishes. Ooh. And then I'll put this in the fridge to keep the egg yolks good to go. Or not the egg yolks, the egg whites, excuse me, for when I am ready to make, meringue tomorrow. Very important. Just taking some grease off of the center skillet so I can set stuff on it. Seamus made a grilled bagel recently and it was still buttery. Okay, so we've got our egg yolks. I'm gonna skip the salt because this is salted butter. Again, don't need too much. We're gonna need a tablespoon of the salted butter. Take this over with us. Put this in the fridge before it starts to melt worse than it already is. Because it's getting warm in here. And I need to reboil this water. Okay, so we're gonna need 2 cups of boiling water. How handy that this is a 2-cup measure. Doesn't matter that it has some flour residue in it. Does not matter one bit. So, got 4 minutes on the pie crust. I'm gonna bring this over here. Good, that was still nice and hot. I am going to bring these over. Although the butter I'm gonna set on the table on a little holder because I don't need it any closer to the stove than necessary. Okay, 2 cups of boiling water. And then a nice slide across the kitchen. Getting hot here to take off all your clothes. Don't encourage Seamus. He needs less than 0 encouragement. We're a little over, but that's okay. I can pour a little off. Yeah, just a tad. Smidgen. There we go. Put all the nudity. This is not a nudist colony, Seamus. I hate to break it to you. And no, it cannot be. Don't you give me boo. Oh, you're laughing. Moving across the floor. Big old forehead. Okay. Trying to get this at the right angle for you guys. There we go. You heard me say that before you typed it. Yeah. All right. So let me bring my handy dandy book a little closer. We're going to add boiling water and bring it to boil over an open flame, stirring constantly. We're going to break that rule ever so slightly because I do know the pie is going to be ready to come out of the oven. I prefer to use a whisk for this to make sure that the cornstarch breaks up. You're eepy? You should go eepy then. Unless you need to stay up because you're trying to not let your sleep schedule be fucked. And then, you know, I get it. 'Cause I'm in the midst of fixing mine. I know you just get my voice right now and watching this. Oh. Dismiss. The pie must come out. The pie crust should be done. Oh, I push you guys too close. There we go. Yep. Pie crust. It's just a tad bit golden around the edges, so it's definitely done. I did not put any like egg mixture on it, so it's not going to be it's not going to be super colored. It's not going to be a lot of like browning. It's going to be lighter in tone. Oh, you stayed up to watch the lunar eclipse? Yeah. Yeah. I missed the lunar eclipse. I slept through it, woke up at 4 a.m. Was upset. Especially because it turned out that the clouds cleared. Yeah, you can see it's nice and smooth for the most part. There's only a couple little like clumps of cornstarch. And if I remember right, we just have to bring it to a boil. Stirring constantly. Once it comes to a boil, transfer the top part to a double boiler and cook for 15 minutes. So that's what next to me I've got going is the double boiler. So we're cooking the sugar in with the flour and the cornstarch to make like a gelatin. And this is why the pie is gonna like set. You can see it. It ribbons nicely and it doesn't immediately disappear into the mixture. You can see the bubbles coming up. It is coming to a boil. Okay. Woo. Cook for 15 minutes. So it's actually perfect. Oh, good bot, Siri bot. Yeah, Seamus has been like frantic at work. Let's see if I can tilt this. There we go. Yeah, daylight savings time also messed me up. Like I was already having insomnia issues, and then I got sick. And because of the cold, it made it worse because even if I wanted to go to sleep, I was waking up like every 4 hours because my throat was on fire. The postnasal drip combined with the sore throat was so bad. Like it just hurt. And it wasn't strep, it just hurt. So I had to get up every 4 hours to take cold meds. And then it took a little bit to go back to sleep, if I could go back to sleep. So oftentimes I wasn't really falling asleep until like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I was sleeping until 2 or 3 in the afternoon, simultaneously trying to like not sleep too much because I didn't want to completely or horrendously fuck my sleep. And partially because I needed once again to get up and take those cold meds. And it just like, it wasn't working and it wasn't working and it wasn't working. And I'm finally coming out on the other side of that, only to be addicted to my books. Yeah. I don't know if I have to stir it constantly during this part. Cook for 15 minutes. I may or may not. My feet hurt though, so I'm gonna at least roll this chair nearby so I can kneel on it. Whoop. I'm tucking close enough that I'm not gonna tip it over. Whoop. Hopefully. Hopefully. They're the kind of chairs that like lean back if you lean on them. And it's proving to be a little bit of a challenge not to lean on it. But my feet hurt even though they're in fluffy socks and fluffy shoes. Crazy guy used to freaking 60 streams to freak, let's go. Thank you for popping in to say hi. I hope you have good dreams when you go to bed. Yeah, bubbly. I hate it too, but I love the books, so we'll see if my brain will shut off long enough for me to sleep. That's gonna be the real trick of it. Will my brain shut the fuck up? 60. Not the sisty. Not the sisty, Seamus. I'm also very excited, you guys. So I asked Seamus this week if we could replace the little wine rack thing we had on our wall above the island with 2 shelves for cookbooks, because it was a real pain in the ass to get to them where they were. They were hidden on a little shelf under a like side table, because that was where we had space for them at the moment. And we don't really drink wine. Like, Seamus and I, if we're gonna have a drink, it's probably like 1 hard cider a piece, or I might mix myself a purple motherfucker or something, and he'll have a beer, and that's it. And we do it like very sparingly. We're not heavy drinkers. But we had this wine rack because we had originally bought it, if I remember right, as something we thought we might be able to use in the bathroom to help like hold shampoos and stuff. Until we actually got it home and out of the box and really saw how it was designed, and we were like, oh no, this isn't gonna work in the bathroom. So we just put it in the kitchen because that's where it belonged, and we were like, we can display some wines and we'll try to keep the ones that we might cook with out. That was 7 years ago. And I finally was like, we don't use this shelf. Like, everything on it is gathering dust. This is stupid. I want shelving for my cookbooks. Can we make it happen? And he was like, yeah, no problem. So I asked him this week, because we had bought the materials a couple weeks ago, but then just didn't get around to doing anything with it. I asked him, I was like, can we have those up before the end of the week? And he put them up yesterday, and they're so pretty. Like, they're just basic wood. There's nothing special about them, but they look so nice. All of my cookbooks are out, and I've got some vintage ones. Like, one of my friends, I've known her since kindergarten. Her grandmother passed away years ago. I want to say also like 7 or 8 years ago, because it was near the beginning of mine and Seamus's relationship. And she contacted me and she's like, hey, I have 2 huge boxes of cookbooks, like old cookbooks. And I know you like to bake and stuff. And at this point, like, Seamus and I were actually cooking more regularly. She was like, do you want to take a look through them? And I said, absolutely. So I kept a bunch of the vintage ones. Like, we're talking cookbooks from 1939. They're amazing. And I am thinking I may dig through them at some point and we can try like a really old recipe. You don't drink either? Patrick, hello, thank you for the hug. Hi, Will. Yeah, so I would love to share some of those with you guys because they're really cool. I love old things like that though. Like, I'm the person who gets mad when people paint antique furniture. Like, livid. Seeing red. Stop painting antique furniture. It's gorgeous. It's this beautiful hardwood. Stop it. I get super upset when people take old homes with all of their character and they just destroy it and turn it into this whitewashed menace. Like, stop it. Stop what you're doing. Don't rip out all the character of the molding and the sweeping stairs and whatever else you think needs to go just because you don't like the look of it. Like, you literally bought this house because of its character and you're ruining it. I get very upset. Her old things. Exactly, Seamus. Exactly. Oh, thank you, Will. I like my lo-fi vibes when I'm cooking, even if I can't hear them myself. Ooh, was it delicious, Bubbly? Was it the best bread you've ever had? We're almost there. We've got about 7 minutes of cooking this on the top. Yeah, if I had the skills, I would restore old furniture. I could hone the skills, but let me tell you what, I don't have the patience for it, I don't think. I have the patience for a great many things, but I don't think sanding and refinishing old furniture is gonna be it. I mean, maybe I could surprise myself, but I don't think that's gonna be it for me. Okay, it's time to stand back up. Ugh. Slide over there, chair. What's 2 p.m. tomorrow, Patrick? Was pretty tasty. I am super happy to hear that. What kind of bread did he make? Just basic white bread, or was it like sourdough? Did he make a focaccia? Someday, you guys, I'll have 2 cameras and you'll be able to see both me and the pot. That day is not today. And I will make sure to get the recipe for the lemon meringue up in the Discord tomorrow. Ooh, that's rough, Patrick. I hope that it fizzles out before it reaches you. 5 minutes. 5 minutes until this is done cooking. It's getting good and thick. Look at that. See how it doesn't fully go, like it doesn't immediately form back in. You get the ribbons across the top. That's how you know it's thickening nicely. I haven't tried it yet, Will. I have seen it. I haven't tried it. I'm going to give it a whack myself Sunday. It's beautiful though. From what I've seen, it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it. I almost wanted to stream on Monday, but I felt like shit when it like came out, when it launched. But oh my God. I'm only just barely to the point where I can like feel coherent and entertaining on stream. I was a zombie of just blowing my nose and feeling like crap. It just keeps getting stronger on the models. Oh no. Yeah. So I'm going into Bleasdale, Sleazy Bleazy, Sunday. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to get it to where I will do my Wednesday and my Friday streams at 7 p.m. Eastern, or right around there, and my Sunday streams will be around 2 p.m. So 2 evenings and an afternoon. And Will's about to groan because I bet he won't be around for 2 p.m. He'll be at work. Such is our luck. Fantastic. That nothing tonight is as strong as it looks. That's good. That's good. We are in that like really weird weather pattern time. March is always like that though, right? Phenomenal. Ooh. I think it was like a baguette. You just posted pictures. I'll have to take a look after stream, Bubbly. I'm excited. I love bread. I love making bread. I just don't take the time to make bread, and I really should. I really, really should. All right. That's basically close enough. The next step, if I remember right, is putting in the eggs. Add in the egg yolks and cook for a minute. The egg yolks are actually where it gets some of its flavor and where it gets its distinctive color. It's not the lemon juice. It's tornado season, that sucks. Oh no, what weird weather have you got, Bubbly? Right now, ours is just the way the temperature is bouncing, but it was beautiful today. It was 61 Fahrenheit. I was so happy. Okay. Eggs, and then lemon. Remove from the heat, add in butter, salt, lemon juice, and lemon rind. Okay. I'll back you guys up. I can once again get you down here. So we've got butter. The clouds rolling, got dark fast. Hail, mixture of ice and snow that was raining. Oh my gosh, that is wild, Bubbly. That is wild. Cheesecake snack for Pie Day and the pizza covers us. Nice, Carrie. And remember, my butter is salted, so I am not adding any extra salt into this. It is going to make it soupy. I promise you. It will re-solidify in the shell while it cools in the fridge. We're just gonna mix this until well combined and the butter is melted. Making pies from scratch like this, like growing up with this between my mother and her mother and my my dad's mother, so both of my grandmothers and my mom, people who fed me pies where they make it from a Jell-O packet or similar, I can taste the difference and it's just not as good. Yeah, see? It's thickening right back up. You can't quite match the decadence of scratch. I don't know what it is, but you just can't. I love it. Hands cramping. Okay. You had pizza and apple pie, delicious. Made my first apple pie ever for Thanksgiving. All right, so we're gonna pour this into the pie crust and I'm actually gonna drag you all back across the kitchen. There's my big old face in my hand because I had to write that. Here we go. Whee! Hope the downstairs neighbor like doesn't get a horrible sound from me doing this. Back over here. So, before I can pour this in, I actually have to get the pie weights out. Very important part of the process, obviously. Let me tilt this a little bit so you can see me a little better. Open that up. Going to gather this so that I'm holding on to everything, and then I can use it like a pour spout. Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful pie crust. It definitely doesn't shrink as much with the pie weight. So I'm glad that Seamus let me get these when we were out one day. Because it was his money that bought them. Okay, we grab our beautiful pie filling off of the stove. God, it smells so good. Give it a quick stir. Want you guys to down a little bit further. We're doing good, Dova. We're about to pour it into the pie crust. Wow, we've dropped a lot of frames. I wonder why. I wonder if Seamus and I are going to be complaining to our internet service provider again. Goodness, I hope not. Wow, you can tell I'm used to this pie shrinking so much more because I am used to this coming right up to the edges. But that's a good thing because this gives me plenty of room when I make the meringue for it to have somewhere to go. It has crust to hold on to. That's what we want. Amazing. They are coming in super handy. Perfect. Lemony without being like pucker your face lemony. Sorry, Seamus. It does not taste like lemon pledge. It's not quite that strong. But now it goes in the fridge. That's it. That's a lemon meringue pie until it cools and I can put the meringue on it. It doesn't take very long, which is partially why I had thought about doing 2 pies. But again, Seamus and I literally do not need to eat 2 pies. We just don't. So I'm not going to make 2 pies. I am, however, going to get a spoon out and eat more of this because it's delicious. It's like lemon pudding. Because that's basically what it is. It's a lemon custard. And whatever's left in here is mine to eat. So good. So freaking good. I was though, favorite pie. Strawberry rhubarb. Hands down, strawberry rhubarb is my favorite pie. What about you guys? What is your favorite? I will be harvesting rhubarb this year. I will make a strawberry rhubarb pie. Possibly on stream. I have to think out the logistics on that one. Because there is a waiting period of like an hour where you literally set it aside for the flour to thicken the juices and let them like come out of the rhubarb and the strawberries. Cheesecake. Cheesecake's not a pie. Cheesecake is its own category, Wazo. But I will accept it as a pie for Pie Day. Okay, I will say that. I actually, since I have all of my cookbooks handy, I even, when my grandmother passed away, took this from her collection. So at some point, we're gonna have to make cheesecake because like, this shit looks delicious. Okay. I did not know rhubarb used to be called pie plant. Pumpkin's your favorite, Bubbly? I do love a good pumpkin pie. Ooh, apple pie with a cheesecake layer sounds really interesting. That sounds really interesting, Dova. And then one of the really old books. Like, it's so old. The cover is getting all fucky. It's crust filling, it's close to what he said. Key lime, lemon meringue, strawberry rhubarb, and banana. You just like pie, Seamus, and yet you don't. It's very bizarre. So this is the Boston Cooking School cookbook by Fannie Merritt Farmer. She's known for old cookbooks. She is a name. And this one was published in originally copyrighted 1896, and then 1901, 1902, 1903, 1904, 1905, 1906, and 1914, but it had a copyright in 1918 by her daughter, it looks like. So this one's really old. You think he likes cream pies? He might, Nivex. You might not be wrong. So I eventually want to dig through this and maybe we can make something out of that. I also have, and it came in this like protective cover, but it's the American Woman's Cookbook. Like, look at the thumb tabs. How cool is that? It is. It's a legit. Sell a chocolate silk pie with an Oreo crust. Ooh, I have a chocolate overdose now, Wazo. I feel that. So this one, there's even like old recipes that her grandmother had tucked in here that I will go through, but like it's new enough to have photography. But it's not super new. It was originally copyright 1939. So it was published for the Culinary Arts Institute by Consolidated Book Publishers Incorporated in Chicago, 1939. So I'd love to get into this. I love the thumb notches. I think they're so cool. Look it even has like how to set up your dinner service. Your binder of random crap you printed off the internet. Wazo, I have one of those too. 'Cause I agree. And it recently got soaked with water on accident. I've had this since I was a teenager when I started collecting recipes from like Japan and stuff off the internet. It's super full. It's super full of stuff. I brought it with me to here and Seamus and I are just adding to it. We're adding so much to it. But yeah, I've got some really cool cookbooks that I want to make things out of, and we will make things out of, because why not? I've got them. We might as well have fun with them. But the front fell off. Oh no! Oh no, not the front falling off. I thought about getting a binder, but that works too well. That works way too well. Yeah, there's some really cool stuff up here. We've got the Betty Crocker picture cookbook, revised and enlarged. We have a Doctor Who cookbook. We got a Better Home and Gardens Meals in Minutes. One by Julia Child is up here. I backed one on Kickstarter, and there's only one recipe in here that I've ever like tried and liked, I think. Maybe I haven't made anything from it yet, but they compiled some vintage vegetarian cuisine. Like I literally backed this on Kickstarter. years and years and years ago. I don't know if I've ever actually made anything out of it. But there's the information. If you can read that okay. It's Seasonal Chef Press. So I think that's a really cool book that I've got. I collect cookbooks. I think they're cool and I like to work from them. With lions on the front, that's right. Table for cookbooks. I should check around me, Carrie. I should, absolutely, 100%. Because I do love them. This one cracked me up when I realized I had it. The Christmas Cookie Book by Virginia Paisley. When was this one copywritten? But it looks very similar to the Betty Crocker Cookie Book in the pictures. They have it run every 3 months. Interesting. This one was 1949, so it's a little older than the Cookie Book. But because the Cookie Book runs further back, there could be stuff in there that's similar. There could be. All right, you guys. I'm gonna sneak back over to the desktop. I'm gonna put you on a brief BRB screen while I do it, and I'll meet you over there because we are technically done with the pie. My feet hurt. And like I'm not gonna drag this out too long. So I'll meet you back over there, okay? Okay? Okay.
They can't swim. Well, that takes care of that. Oh, there's still one more. Two more. One more. Oh, oh, oh. Oh! Dude, they're all making the same mistake. This is amazing. It's gotta be, right? Oh, oh, oh. Are you trying to steal my fish, bitch? There we go. Now you should be able to hear me. I swapped over and then I suddenly was like, wait a second. They can't hear me if I don't turn on my other mic. So, we are gonna find a place to go say hello to. Because that is what we do here. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do with you, chat. No, that's not either. Arg. OBS, stop being a butthead. Absolutely, Dova. I'm glad that you guys could be here. Sorry, I'm trying to make my shit do what I want it to do. There. And you get pie, Seamus. You do get pie. So I just want to take a quick peek at who's on, who's streaming, that I can bring you guys over to hang out with. So if you just, like, keep up with me for a moment, that would be great. Like I said, I'm gonna put the recipe in the Discord, so if you're not in the Discord already, that's the place to be. That's where you're gonna be able to get a hold of it if you don't want to go back in the VOD to look for it. I am doing better about posting on social media, so if you want to see things, you know, little snippets, little clips, like that's where to see it. I would love the interaction, because just hitting like the thumbs up or a little heart or leaving a comment with a heart or whatever, it tells the algorithm that you liked what you saw, and it pushes it to more people, which can hopefully help me get you know, more people to come hang out with us, to chill and enjoy. Nothing wrong with that. Let's you know what? I have somebody who either they just went live or they're getting ready to leave. They're starting soon. Let's look at knocking My aura is Amber right off of her starting soon screen. How about that? How does that sound? Because I think that sounds fucking fantastic. She is going to be streaming some Dead by Daylight. She's somebody that I have played DBD with. She's super chill. She's super fun. Definitely recommend. As far as I'm aware, she's probably going to be doing some Survivor vibes. She tends to be more of a Survivor main. Nothing wrong with that. So we're going to go say hello to My Aura is Amber. I really appreciate you guys being here, for hanging out with me, for chilling while I baked that pie for Pie Day. You guys, super happy Pie Day to all of you. I hope it was wonderful. I hope you got pie. Whether it was pizza pie or quiche pie or cheesecake pie or pie, I hope you had pie. Because we gotta celebrate Pie Day in style like that. If you're subscribed, you can use that first raid message with the mandalas. If you are not subscribed, then the second one with the hearts is for you. I really appreciate you guys being here, for hanging out with me, for dealing with my sluggish ass as I'm getting over this cold. You can kind of hear it in my voice. Like, my voice has been coming and going, and I haven't talked much, to be totally honest, while I've been sick, because I've been too busy blowing my fucking nose. So it's not used to speaking right now. Me and my water and my book are gonna curl up and just chill. I recommend doing the same for yourselves if you have that opportunity. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for chilling with me, for the hype train, for the subs, the gifted subs, for everything. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate you. I will see you on Sunday for some Phasmophobia in the afternoon. But in the meantime, make sure you take a moment to practice some self-care. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you love you, because you matter, friends. Thank you again. Bye-bye. Let's go say hello to Amber.